Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. I was having a little unstructured, unscheduled play artsy time the other day, and I thought I would share the painting that I made. I did turn on the camera just in case something good came out of it, but I really had no expectations. I wanted to try out these new watercolors I purchased. It's the Intensity set of 6 by Core, and it was on a great sale on Amazon. It was around $22 or so, maybe a little bit less, and the price has been really good for this set. And so I decided to take a chance on it because I like my Core tube paints, and I wanted to see how these would compare. I'm using my Jinhao Shark fountain pens that I filled with Dr. P.H. Martin liquid watercolors to do my sketch. I like to do that because then the sketch just becomes part of the painting. There's no pencil lines or any marks that I need to wipe out later on. And if these pens stop flowing, I just dip them into my water and it reactivates any dried ink in the nib and you're ready to go. So I don't really see a downside to using these Radiance watercolors in the fountain pens. Now, I'm not using the Hydrus watercolors. I just want to make a point to mention that these are a dye-based watercolor by Dr. P.H. Martin that I'm using because I do believe that the pigment-based Hydrus would clog. And now I'm just using some of the watercolor, and I am just trying different colors. Since this is a pretty limited palette and the colors are all super transparent and saturated, they're not going to make mud unless you try on purpose to make browns and stuff, which you can, but I mean, they're just so transparent and so vivid that it's going to be hard to desaturate these. And that gave me a lot of freedom that I didn't really have to worry about stuff over mixing or whatnot while I was working. And like I said, I wasn't sure how this was going to go. I had no plans for this piece other than to just have a good time and kind of make some loose free artwork because I've been doing a lot of colored pencil work for an upcoming colored pencil class. So I just wanted to have something that was just kind of fun and free. And there you can see I made a desaturated green just by making a bright green, but then adding a little bit of orange to it. So that whenever you want to cut down the vibrancy or the saturation of color, add an opposite, and that will do it very naturally. But I love the flow of this. I love how it kind of reminds me of it reminds me of kind of like vintage tapestry, like if you had fabric on a vintage tablecloth or curtains or upholstery, that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting, that like nice bright 1950s tapestry look. And I'm really digging it. And I mean, I'm not fussing about the composition. I'm just playing, just making some kind of fantastical flowers and just having fun with it. And now I'm adding a little bit of detail. This is the next day. What I did basically was I let that dry. I painted that first layer real quick. I let it dry. And then this morning when I was drinking my coffee, I thought, how about instead of just like mindlessly watching YouTube, I start painting. And that's what I did. I'd woken up very early as well, so I had a little extra time to kill, and I thought, well, I don't have anything planned right now. I'm just going to play with this. And I'm going back in with some fountain pens, and that fountain pen is one that I bought as a set of 8 different colors, and it was very inexpensive. I think it was 8 different colors, but you got 2 of each color, and it was under $10 on Amazon. And I'll try to remember to link everything in case you're interested in any of these things, but any sort of water-based pen or water-based marker should work just the same. So, you know, don't make too big of a deal of it. Don't feel like you have to have the exact same products. Use whatever watercolors you have, use whatever paper you have. This is a very fluid free process. You don't need to have the best of the best for this process. It's very loosey-goosey, free and fun. And I'm using another one of my Jinhao Sharks with the Dr. P.H. Martin liquid watercolor, which is a dye, to just outline some stuff. The other reason I'm not too worried about this piece is because the fountain pens I'm using are, they're dye-based, they're fugitive. Now these watercolors should stand the test of time, but they're a pretty decent pigments. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any non-light fast pigments in that set, actually. But you know, I'm using whatever. I'm just having fun. Like this right here is a brush pen. It's a Jane Davenport mermaid marker, and I grabbed it because I like that shade of green. I wanted something that was a little bit more intense. I would say intense, but to get the color I wanted, it seemed like I had to add a lot of water and water down those paints, and I knew that ink in the brush was going to be about right, so I just grabbed that. And plus, I like the brush tip, and I felt like just using my favorites. That's my motto for this year, is to use my favorites and just have fun. And that may include adding a few new favorites, like these new Core pan sets. I couldn't resist the price. I resisted them before and regretted not buying them on sale. So when I saw them on sale again, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to try them. And I'll compare them against the tube paints dried down, so I'll have some good information that I can put out for other folks that may be considering purchasing these. So I'm in a lucky situation that my business kind of kind of can justify some of these expenditures. And boy, I'm just having fun. Now, I'm using my signature brushes with Craft Ammo that are sold out, but I was just kind of playing around with those. They're good brushes. They work really well. Obviously, I wouldn't have designed them if they didn't. And I'm just intensifying some of my colors. Now it's funny that this magenta, and if I mix the transparent orange and the transparent magenta together, I get like a fire engine red that is so punchy. Or I can thin down I can use the orange out a little bit of the magenta and get a beautiful crisp coral. This is a great set. I tried the urban sketch set and I was raving over that and I was loving it. And I'm like, well, this is going to be the best of the 3 that I bought. And now I'm trying the intensity. I'm like, well, actually, this one might be a better choice for most people because it's got more vibrant, pure colors. And what I do like about these 6 color sets is they have 6 empty half pans that you could put your own colors in. So if you don't want to mix brown, or you don't want to mix sap green, or you don't want to mix yellow ochre, you want to have some of those colors ready to go, you can add them to the half pans and have a really good comprehensive set. And it's kind of fun to use an orange and like a bright magenta pink. Instead of having, 2 yellows and 2 reds. It's not a split primary palette. It's a little bit just off split, but it mixes so cleanly because they're so bright and transparent. They're so vibrant and saturated. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm going in, I'm using again that mix of the red and the magenta, the orange and the magenta, and I'm putting in my darker shadows in the flower. And at this point I'm thinking, I feel like I'm losing the freshness and the lightness, and I feel like everything's getting kind of dark and heavy. But don't worry, because we are going to do some really fun stuff to break up all of the dark that I'm getting in here. And by dark, I don't mean... It's not like I really mean like really dark low value, maybe just too much saturation. I've got too much heavy color. That's it, the weight. I think it's the weight of the color. So I was thinking about these markers here. These are by Artex, and I've reviewed their markers before in smaller sets, and I really don't have anything different to say about them. But this set of 60 has a good color variety. I don't know if there's duplicates between this and their previous colors. There isn't with the metallic line anyway. But the thing that I really liked about this set is that the ends are color-coded, and they're pretty accurate, and the case, the packaging that it comes in is actually a usable storage solution, so you don't need to go find storage afterwards. And there's a gridded plastic insert in the bottom of the heavy-duty chipboard box that holds your markers upside down. And since they're single-ended markers, you want the ink at the tip. You don't have to pump them to start them. They're very easy to use. They're a brush tip. They're nice markers. I've reviewed them before, like I said, but I really think that case was worth mentioning and showing on camera because it's a great storage solution and it keeps your markers ready to go. Generally, I store my markers horizontally, but if they're single-ended, you can store them on their tips like that. And it's nice that a company had the foresight to do that. Now here I am just kind of scraping on some white sculpting medium. It's by Royal and Langnickel. And another budget find I want to share with you is Royal and Langnickel mediums. They have gloss medium, gel medium, like matte gel medium, sculpting medium. They have an iridescent medium, but I really like their gloss medium, their gloss gel medium, and their sculpting medium for really thick applications. They're really fantastic. And their gesso is good too. You could use gesso for this. You don't need the sculpting medium. But I thought I wanted that texture. I wanted that that oomph. And I'm also taking some Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. I thinned it down on my little spatula there, and I flicked it on there because I wanted to break up that white a little bit more. And I like little flicks of white. And now I'm using that new silicone brush. I bought a set of 5 on Amazon. I was really curious about these, and that is great for hitting those edges with a little bit of color. And there you have it. It was fun. It took me under an hour, and I just had a ball. Sometimes you just need to cut loose and be all free with your art, and that's what I did, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will link all these supplies in the video description if you want to find some for yourself. They will be affiliate links, which means I earn a small commission if you choose to buy through them. But it doesn't cost you anymore. So there you have it. Till next time, happy crafting. Bye.